everybody. Welcome to week 5. Week 5 of 52. Got it?
Is that just on your screen? Did we go public or is that private?
Right, we're public. Somebody shout out.
I'm told we tagged you in a photo.
There he is. So Tim, right into what we were talking about.
Let's act like that didn't happen, man. Tom, buddy, how was your week, man?
Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. She's working overtime. My week, great. You know, here we are. We're week 5 of 52, which makes it the 5th consecutive week that we've asked our wives to join us, and they have not.
Went home last week and Jessica, she watches the show, man. I'm proud of her. Thank you, Jess. Love you.
Yes.
Mrs. Suggs. She confirmed the never coming.
Never coming.
Never.
Well, what we'll do, maybe at some point we'll just surprise her.
Yeah.
We'll just pop in.
We gotta just have dinner, hang out, set a camera up.
Yes.
And
That will never fly. That will never fly. You know, it's funny because I'm not a great cook.
Right.
Like, I'm enjoying like this whole doing some different live stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Because you never know what's gonna happen. But you know, we were making pizzas this week. And
Saw that.
I was recording, and like I was like, here, why don't you get in it? No, absolutely not. What about your hands? I was like, nobody's gonna see you. Meanwhile, and then there's Blake like, I want to do it. Like, I'll get in. You know, it's like, of course, right? So it's different.
Yeah, and in their defense, you don't know the anxiety of doing this. I'm sorry, I need to back up. So the anxiety of doing this for the first time, it's real. It's really real. You know, remember we were challenged and to start throwing some content out there, and man, you're so self-conscious of how you want to put yourself out there, and there's so many thoughts that just go through your head of just, is my message going to be heard right? You know, what do I look like? And it's just, it's.
I think what do I look like is always the biggest one.
Yeah, I never care.
Because nobody, you know, I don't want to say nobody, but it's really hard to have that your own personal self-image.
Yes.
And to be entirely comfortable with it. You know, clearly we don't care.
Correct.
So
I'm growing out the beard because we're getting closer and closer. The more we hear feedback on the show, so I'm trying to cover this mug up as much as I can. So,
well, you know, going live on anything is and you know, if you go all the way back to like kind of like week 1. You know, even now, like, hey, are we on? Like, we're staring at our phones over here, like, hey, are we on? Is anybody paying attention to us?
Tom's not public. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we are. Anyway, let's act like that's
good. You just never know what's going to happen, especially with two guys that, like, I wouldn't say we're not dumb when it comes to technology, but, like, a lot of this is new.
Yeah.
Like, so we're figuring out a ton of this stuff on the fly. For example, Austin is 11. They love TikTok.
Yeah.
He said, Dad, you should do TikToks. So I couldn't do it. You know what I did? I'm 41 years old. He's 11. So 30 years difference. I handed him the phone and said, get me views. And he went through and plugged it all away and put it on there. And, you know, whatever. It was up to like almost 400 views.
Yeah.
You know, of the silliness of us making a pizza, right? So that, you know, we never know what we're going to get into. Right. So there's something that I was going to address about that we found out kind of after the show last week.
Yeah.
So I was up close to the computer, and that's why sometimes you just got to stick with this because you never really know where this is going to go or what mistakes we're going to make. So I'm trying to turn it off. I think I had turned the live button off, and then
you have to confirm that you turned it off.
Correct. I didn't know that. I thought once I hit the button, it's off.
Yes.
Right? And it even goes somewhat dark. And guys, we ran a show last week it was like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was a good one. We got good content.
And that was an hour and a half of sitting here and whatever, drinking water, drinking coffee, bourbon, whatever it was, we were doing. And I had to pee. I didn't realize that when I went up to pee that I was still, the camera got me leaving to go pee, and then security guard, I think it was Blake, was down here and got you captured you talking to
Blake bailed, man. It was Austin. Blake was done. So I went back and I watched the show. They were awesome. You see them in the corner, I didn't listen to us. I was just watching them, and I was absolutely fascinated with them talking to each other and just how good they were. Just
besides Blake, in the somersaults.
He just dipped out. I don't know when he left. He was just gone. Yeah. And Austin, he sat down and so you guys caught me talking to the security guard. And kind of some feedback that we've gotten from our sponsors and our support. So yeah, that was great.
Well, fortunately, I've kind of learned how to take some of these videos, edit, and put it to YouTube. So I was able to cut that and kind of hey,
that's perfect.
Here's outtakes. We don't know. We think we're off. We're not. It's kind of the hot mic, right? Hey, whoa, we got caught with our first hot mic. Be careful. Be careful what you say all the time.
Yes.
So
kudos to everyone that watched the show last week and watched it in its entirety and got to see us be human.
Yes, epic fail. And that's, we were talking about before, kind of some of the things, when you go live, the difference between doing, and we can kind of call this a podcast.
Just call it a live stream.
Yeah, it's similar in terms of the difference is their preparation versus our preparation.
Correct.
Right? To whereas we're just on here talking about whatever the week was, whatever's going on new, kind of general office talk, right?
Yes.
If you were to come into my office and we're standing at the water cooler.
Set a wool.
Yes. Yeah.
We set a water cooler right here. It's funny that we our brains went there at the same time. That's great.
So, it's kind of the same. The thought is it's kind of the same idea, right? It's the same stuff that you're going to be talking about at home or in your office about the weird stuff that you saw.
Right. So here's the prep time for this show, guys. We got the support, and I showed up this morning, and it's so if you want to hold that corner, we'll hold this up. So we have not had a chance to hang this yet. I just brought it this morning. We set it down and said where we're going to put it. Obviously on this back wall somewhere. But our prep time is, hey, we got a sweet logo, and here's a couple things that happened through the week that I thought about. Here. Oh, let me write them down real quick. And then from there, we just...
Well, the goal should be to see how long we can actually just hold this.
Spin
the wheel. We got stuff going everywhere.
Yeah, we got you. Yeah. So again, that's the prep we put into to this.
Yeah.
And now we just made up something on the fly.
That's it.
My shoulder's gonna go numb, but what else?
Yeah. I don't know what we would do if we had to hold something else up. I don't know. Let's play some music.
There you go.
All right. Again, watch your phone. Other sponsor, White Oak Productions. This is our White Oak Productions music wheel. Give you a recap of how it works. You spin the wheel 3 times. Start from the outside going in. 4 different genres. We like to play the one of the top 20 songs from whatever era that is, using our Tech Girl. And you want to spin it, and I'll go to the Billboard.
2004.
All right.
Hip hop, R&B.
On hip hop.
Yeah, I think we got a weight
to something.
Yeah.
Top hip hop.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, broke the wheel.
Got a little aggressive with it.
Time out. Again, see what happens? You break the wheel. Top hip hop.
Well, we know we got great friends that won't judge us for our mishaps.
It got offended when we said it.
I think we learned we got to spin it that direction every time because it's going to unscrew it. Number 11.
11. Okay.
04, hip-hop, 11.
Let's see. Okay, also, I don't know if this is going to be clean or not, so if there's kids listening to it, I apologize, but the rules are the rules. We play it.
We don't own the rights to this, and we're not making money off of this.
So, Tech Girl. Alexa, play Slow Motion by Juvenile.
Your slow motion.
It's just pocket of time makes me laugh every time, so I'm always thinking, what is it? And when it starts, Yeah.
I'm going to turn it down.
Yeah. Alexa, volume down.
That'll work. There you go. All right. So anyway, talking about the difference between going live, having time to edit, 7-second, all those different things that go in, like, not us.
No.
So there's certain things that we're not always prepared for, right? And talking about going live and different things, and it's funny because I'll do the kids sporting events so everybody can see.
Yeah.
Right? So depending on where you're at, like, you don't know what's going on back here, or whatever parent or fan or whatever is going to say.
Right.
So you sometimes it's best to just have your blinders on and look forward. But that being said, we had our basketball game.
Yeah.
I got my second technical in 3 games.
Ah.
It was the most polite technical I've ever gotten in my entire life. Like, it was so bad. And I'm not saying that from a judgmental standpoint. Like,
yeah.
I was literally joking with the guy, and he told me that I needed to stop talking, and I thought, kind of joking. And it was about a call, right? And he's like, I have the call. I was like, there's never a doubt. I said, I never had technical. Like, for what? So that's 2 out of the last 4. And we ended up losing that game too. So anyway, that was kind of my week. That was between everything else and going. When you're talking about going live and enjoying going live, like being live. I wish I had a GoPro.
Yeah.
So that somebody could have my back when that happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, play that again.
Yeah. Like, that wasn't right. Like, listen. Like, this is what happened.
Yeah, I was coaching JV softball over in Amelia, and I got tossed from the game, and I was a volunteer coach, so it cost me the season. And it was ground ball hit to the second baseman. She comes up, and our girl, she didn't go out of the line. She just kind of swivel hipped out of the way, and the second baseman put up some tag, trying to swipe, and she got confused, threw it to first, called her out at second, called her out at first. Everybody was safe.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what happened there? And he's saying that it was interference at second, all this stuff. And the competitive drive in me comes out, and you start defending your players. And so I was like, no, Blue, that's not what happened. And I don't care about bad calls. They happen. They've never bothered me. We're all human. We all make bad calls. But when you see a play and you look up and see the ump still behind the plate, it's like, at least put yourself in a position to make a bad call.
Yeah.
It's like, that's all I ask.
Show me that there's some effort there.
That's it. We're all gonna miss.
Yes.
It happens. And I look up and he's behind the plate, and I'm like, come on, Blue. And he's talking about what happened. I'm like, what do you? That was the play, Blue. You missed the play. Was that connection at second? And I maybe took 15 or 10 feet from first base, right down the line. And so I wasn't near him. There was no confrontation. There was just, Blue, you missed that play. He says no. I say yeah. And he tries to defend himself, but you missed the play. And I turn around. He said something I don't know, and I was like, you know what? Just go back behind the plate. Right. So I was done. He tossed me. You're gone.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I learned, shut up, Quentin.
as coaches, like, there's certain times that, yes, I talk a lot with my hands. Like, I've been told I'm loud. I'm not negative. I'm loud, right? So, like, in basketball, like, I can be up and down the sideline. Like, if I see traveling, I'm going like this. Like, it for whatever reason, that bugs officials. Like, and I did it for a few years, and it was like, the last thing I want to have is those, what we call rabbit ears.
Yeah.
Right? There was like, I'm not paying attention to what this guy, you should be watching what's going on in the game. One, making sure nobody's getting hurt, and making sure, kids are learning. Then we got a top 40, or no, 2005. You spin it the right way.
Wow.
Top 40.
Boom, boom.
You got
2005, top 40. No, that can't be right.
You broke it.
It's close. We'll go number 20. 2005 top 40, number 20.
All right.
2005, number 20. Man, I'm going to say we're going to struggle in this, man.
I don't know.
See, it's funny because Paige, when she played ball, I always took the side with the ref or the ump.
Yeah.
Always, because it is what it is. They're not going to change their mind. You're at that current circumstances. So if you beat a play at first and they call you out, you're dealing with one out now. They're not changing their mind. Just deal with it. The sooner you get over it, the quicker you're going to be productive in the field of play. So, and as the game goes on, I promise you with all of my heart that there's going to be a call that goes in your favor.
Yeah, they tell you that, right? That it's supposed to even itself out.
The ball never lies. One of my favorite quotes ever.
It's good. That's true. Absolutely true.
So at the end of the game, the truth will be told. So anyway, that's the conversation. She'll get mad. What do you say? I never take her side, which frustrated her. So when she heard I got thrown out for arguing with an ump, she was like, "Oh, Dad, are you being a hypocrite?" No, I wanted to see what he saw, and whatever. I don't want to defend myself for being a little moody.
So the music wheel determines that Alexa, play Beverly Hills by Weezer.
Beverly Hills. Yeah, know that.
Yeah, we got it. You should not listen. Alexa, play Beverly Hills by Weezer. We are struggling today.
I think Alexa heard me singing. Short it out.
I can feel it. We're on the struggle bus. Talking about sporting events and stuff, and I could go down a long line of things I agree with, things I don't agree with, and things that make me
radical, right?
Right, rabbit
hole. Told me.
No, I'm not allowed to say rabbit hole anymore, right? I just said it.
We just decided that that's just what we're going to say because that's what we do on this show. We get on rabbit holes a lot.
So last week we talked about a couple of shows we were watching, catching up, right? We talked about the Goldbergs, which I'm attempting to get into, I at least understand.
Yep.
Right? So I kind of talked about kind of Lilyhammer on Netflix.
I started watching that.
So
good.
You guys want to just hang with it, right?
Yep.
I finished. It sounds like I have a ton of time on my hands, right? I mean, you're here making videos, doing shows. Like, what do you actually do? Finished the show Sinner. There's got 3 different, which is kind of weird. Like, if you're familiar with Netflix, right? Like, if it's got multiple seasons, like you end season 1, it just automatically goes to season 2, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is weird. Like, their seasons it's about a guy who he's a detective, and he runs into like these weird, like, it's not spooky, but just kind of like psychedelic, just oddball situations where somebody has been murdered, and then it's like he gets close with the person that does it, like tries to really kind of dig in why, whatever. And it's like Jessica Biel, she was the first one, right? So got the season 1. Finished that, and then it was like, I'm waiting for it to click to season 2, and it was like, it started over. I'm like, okay. Then I went to season, it was like everyone ended was almost like a brand new series of shows. But it was weird. So it was cool. Check it out, right? And
I think I did see that. Jessica Biel, didn't she kill some dude on a beach or something?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like you don't really know what you're getting into when you watch it, and then all of a sudden, like things just escalate, and you're like, whoa, what? Like now, spoiler alert, we kind of just gave that away. So,
watch that.
Watch it. Forget about what we just said. It's not the whole show. But
Titanic's sake. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, right? Goose House.
Yeah.
So, another new one for me, I heard was good last week, is Last Kingdom.
Yeah, that's what I recommended to you.
Yes, so I started watching it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I'm kind of into it.
Yes.
The problem is when I watch like some of those shows that have the accents, like I find myself like, I won't do it here, but like all of a sudden I'm in my head.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like a Viking, or I'm thinking like a Peaky Blinder, or somebody from a different part of the world, and I'm like,
yeah.
catch myself. Like,
So we watched, Paige and I watched Braveheart, and she loves the movie, and just the accent. Like, did he get just the
Right.
right?
Right.
She was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm Scottish.
I'm Scottish.
I'm 100% Scottish."
When did that happen?
When I found out my ancestry, I tell everybody I'm Viking, and it's an ongoing joke in the house.
That's where that came from.
And Paige is 100. So we're into our ancestry right now, which I have such a cool story. I don't know if we'll get into it today, but we're really diving into our ancestry and pulling it up. And yeah, we're like 11% Scandinavian, which is Viking country.
Yeah.
And you know, so I sent it over to Paige, and she's looking at it, and her response is, "I'm 100% Scottish." So she's Scottish, I'm Scandinavian, and whatever. You know,
So kind of going, yeah. So that's what I'm watching.
Last Kingdom's fantastic.
So
I love it.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Product, place, app of the week. Anything stick out? We've talked about Robinhood. We've talked about
yeah, we're talking.
different
Jessica
types of
still. I mean, she made about $400 last week.
Yeah,
So she's got one little penny stock that she's staring at.
that's pretty good.
She's like, this goes up to $8.
That's what
I'm sitting on like $21,000.
like being a stock idiot. Like that's where I struggle. Like,
Yeah.
when do I cut it? When I cut the cord?
She cut the movies, what AME or whatever,
Yeah.
and what's the other one that spiraled all this stuff out of control was GameStop. So she cut those, but now she's diving in like she's a little day trader now, and it's again she's made $400 and starting to increase her budget on how much we put into the market.
I'm very curious from Bethel, Ohio, about answering this phone call.
Oh,
just
that's
left. That's a deal. I at one point, and we got to be careful with what we do for a living, but I'm pretty much getting to that point now where I understand and know exactly when the warranty people are calling or like
extended car warranty.
Yes, and so like at that point, I want to pick up that phone call and have a conversation like online with one of those people if it's not a robot.
Right.
2003. Man, we can't get back to the old. Look at that. That's how you do it. Country.
Number 8.
Okay.
2003 country. Number 8. You know, it's gonna be funny if coincidentally we played this last week. We wouldn't even remember.
No. Wouldn't. So
yeah, nothing really, man, in the app world, in the technology world that's gotten my attention.
yeah, I mean, I did. Well, no, I mean, I guess I've got one, and I think a lot of people have used it. Alexa, play "Broken Heartsville" by Joe Nichols. Number 8 song, country song in 2003. Come June, we're going to be, Nicole and I will be married for 20 years. So we decided, like, hey, yeah, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, congratulations to her. Again, she didn't come on the show. You can take a little ribbon.
Yes.
Right? But, we wanted to do something. A few years ago, like, we went to Mexico, and, like, we booked a place to Mexico, right? And that was just recently, and then everything kind of changed. It was like, well, that's not a good idea to go to Mexico. No knock on Mexico. It's just getting back home is going to be a problem. So we changed it up, and we're going to go to Hollywood, Florida, right? Jimmy Buffett's resort, Hollywood, Florida, for a couple of days. And I'm just looking at trying to find a way. Like, what do you do there? What's there, right? Obviously, you got the resort, which would be cool. But Hollywood, Florida, it's not like Orlando, it's not like Miami, like what's there, right? So TripAdvisor, they got an app, and I'm sure everybody's familiar with it, but I'm looking through trying to figure out, they've got top 10 lists, top 10 restaurants, top 10 things to do, all these different things.
They can have it.
I think I had it at one point, and then
It doesn't matter if I did.
got rid of it because I never used it,
Right.
and kind of brought it back. So that's kind of my app of the week. So if you have app suggestions or something that we're missing, put it in the comments.
Yeah, we usually for all the hotels, all the traveling we did for ball and synchronized swimming. Man, it was just get a hotel, and then I don't know, stay in plays and stuff like that for tournaments. Kind of hinder that, but
so here's one for you, right? So over the Super Bowl, we had a bet.
It's not a sports show, right?
Oh, that's right. We didn't even say that, but we kind of blew past that anyway.
Yeah,
but so
we've been doing so good.
I know. I even avoided some other topic I hadn't done. But you won the bet. Loser had to buy lunch.
Yeah.
So after the show last week, you live kind of on the east side of town now.
Mm-hmm.
You're from here, but you live on the east side of town now. I live on the west side, and so where should we go? I said, let's go to Wild Mike's. So we went to the original Wild Mike's over on Harrison and Race, Bridgetown, whatever you want to call it, there, right at the corner.
Yeah.
What you think?
I loved it, man. I've never been. It's the first time, so I felt bad for that because being kind of a west side. You never really consider Colerain. When you live in Colerain, you don't consider it the west side, but when you leave, everybody considers Colerain the west side. So anyway, I've never been there, and their sauce was good. Their wings were, I don't know, I'm not a cook, but I guess they put them back in and make them crunchy. Oh man, that's.
So what sauce did you get?
Well, I got.
Was it the Mike's Mix?
I did get the Mike's Mix on the side, but the other one was like a teriyaki something.
Okay.
Because I like that sweet. Yeah. And I dipped it in the Mike's Mix, and it's all of theirs combined.
Yes.
And I just blend it, and it's I don't know if it's sweet or hot or I don't know what it is. But it's you kind of. It's funny watching the cooking shows when somebody takes a bite of something, they tell you everything.
Yes.
They did. Yeah. I was kind of going through that in my head. I'm like, oh, it tastes a little bit of everything.
Well, it's weird too. There's certain things like talking about that. Things that you never think would really go together.
Yeah.
That actually end up going together.
Yeah.
2000. Man, we are just crushing. Rock.
Number 12.
Like salted caramel.
Yeah.
I'm not big because my fear of white sauces. I am not a big appetizer person. There's nothing. No offense, I love parties. I love hanging out with people, but there's nothing that scares me more about being hungry than going to a party where it was hey, well, we're gonna bring apps, and I'm like, shoot, I better eat beforehand, or and it's weird. It is what it is. It's like sour cream. Don't like it.
Yeah, I remember that sour cream brand. No thanks.
Yeah, and so in all of those apps, this is 100 different pages. All of those apps that are there basically have sour cream or ranch,
dipping sauce of some kind. Yes.
Man, anything. So wings. I'll bring wings or something like that. Just something that I can snack on, or I end up eating a ton of Cervati's pretzels or chips, and it goes down. Yeah, bear with.
I'm watching the TV in the background here, man, and it's got Serena Williams lost, and they're talking about she hasn't won a Grand Slam or whatever since 2017.
Oh, see? Oh, here we go.
Man.
Now, Alexa, no sports. Play next episode by Dr. Dre.
Wait, wasn't it rock?
Oh well, I like this song. So, told you, dude, this struggle bus today. So he won the bet. Took him to Wild Mike's. He got the teriyaki with the Mike's Mix. We got some cheese fries. I'm not a barbecue. I like barbecue, but I like traditional hot better, right? So Wild Mike's, the original. or the one over in Cleves is awesome. So it's much bigger. That was another thing. It's tiny. Right?
Servers were cool.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
So good place to check out. He won the bet. I paid up. Now that kind of leads to you had a lot of lunch chats. That really wasn't.
Yeah.
That was more me. That was kind of me taking you to lunch. That really wasn't the other way. You and I, we spent a lot of time together. But
Yes.
I haven't had a lunch chat.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it was great, man. I mean, just and one of the things that we talked about is just a lot of times in that setting, conversations get really, really, really good. I mean, you put different layers on the cake, and when you start catching up, it's just it's so revealing how awesome life can be, man. Just the circumstances, and no matter what is good or bad, and just when you navigate through life, man, it's always good, man. So it was a great conversation.
Yeah.
I thought a lot about it, and it's a lot of times conversations get real, and they get really good.
Yeah.
And that's why that's why I'm addicted to having lunch with everyone.
Right.
And I put it out there on my own page often to have lunch, to grab lunch. I've heard some crazy stuff from people, but no, it was awesome.
So, what are we doing today?
Well, I've become addicted to lunches, and with this weather smoking us right now, nobody can really get out, so it's kind of put a kink. So I told everybody last night that there's going to be a potential road trip.
Yeah.
So I brought $100. So let's go treat some people to lunch.
Let's do lunch.
Let's do lunch.
So that's going to bring us to part 2 of the show. We'll be back probably about 20 minutes live again. We'll be able to take questions. Music won't be as good, but we've got some really cool stuff planned for today. So be back in 20 minutes. Join us in the fun. If you can't make it, check us out on YouTube. What do we say in 96? Peace out.
Peace out.